Hey guys, back in the garage again, working on patches. I didn't come in the garage the last couple of days because it was just so hot. I went out on my brother's boat on Tuesday. Wednesday was just too hot. I just took it easy. But today, what I had done was I ran over to Joe to check on Lucky because I had to take the glass out of Lucky also. I forgot. I was going to do it here, but I just ran out of time. So I ran over to Joe's. I pulled the glass out of the car. The side doors, I pulled the glass out and the weather felts and everything like that. This way they can get all the way into that stuff and they can paint it and not get any overspray on anything. So I went over there and take a look at it. Lucky's getting there, a little bit at a time. Joe's been slammed with work, so hopefully in a few weeks we should have Lucky back. I'm not sure. I'm guessing on or about 2 weeks we should have Lucky back. So we have on or about 2 weeks to get as much done as we can on patches as we can. Alrighty. So take a look at Lucky. Tell me what you think of it. Here we go. Hey guys, just checking in on Lucky. Here it is. So far. And Glenn, we're working on the glass. Should be all set. I'm going to take out the other side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set the phone off to the side and probably just do it on a time lapse because now it's just quiet. But once I start, everything just gets loud in here with all the air tools and everything. So I'll probably put it on a time lapse. And here's where we are. And on the other side, I'll show you how we got there. And I'm not saying it's the right way. There's always 10 different ways to get to one place. Mustangs are new to me, so we'll figure out the other side. It didn't seem too hard. All right, putting it back together, I don't know. But I'm gonna put it on a time lapse. I'll put you over there and you'll see how we got here. All righty, give me a minute. Done. I was very unprepared today. This is when I used to hold my phone. I didn't bring anything with me. I'm sorry, guys, but I wanted to get this done for Glenn, and his car is slowly getting there. It really is. So hopefully in a few weeks we'll have Lucky back. In the meantime, we'll get back to work on the Camaro. If this car's done tomorrow, we push the Camaro off to the side and we get this car done. But it's getting there, I gotta tell you. I'm gonna come back again. I'll videotape more of this car as it's getting closer and closer, because I wanna go over the car to make sure that they didn't miss any dings or anything. You know, it's easy to miss them. So I know where there was a lot of them, and I'm sure they found them all. But Lucky's getting there. All right, so now we'll bring you right back up to where we are, okay? See you in a minute. All right, we're all caught up so far. So Lucky's getting there, not too bad. I'm hoping, like I say, on or about 2 weeks, we'll see. Like I say, I know Joe got slammed with a lot of work, and you can see the cars are lined up in the back over there, but he'll get that car done. He'll get it done. It's coming out pretty good, I think. You let me know what you think of it. But game plan for today, what do you say? We finally finished these floors. Or at least start working on the floors and try to get as much done as we can. But I used that other welder up on the top shelf there. That's a flux core welder, and I'm not really that. I mean, I'm not that great at flux core welding. I'm not that great at welding. I'm good when I need to be good. But you know, like you say, well, you need to be good every time. But you know what I mean is, you know, if I'm building a roll cage, every bead they all have to be right. You know, on something like this, you can cheat a little bit. So we're gonna use this welder that's got gas, and we'll see how we do with that. And hopefully we can get most of this done today. And whatever we don't get done today, I think I'm just gonna freeze on that. And my son will be here tomorrow. And what we're gonna do is maybe we'll start assembling it. Maybe we'll get those orange doors on the car. We'll get the radiator support in. I'll have hopefully my parts guy, he'll drop off the inner fender wells tomorrow. And I think I have everything else for this car to get the whole car back together. My intentions on this car is we're gonna put the car together, put all the body panels on it. And what I'm thinking about doing is the front fenders. I don't mind removing the front nose off the car again. I just want to make sure everything lines up. If everything lines up, I could take it apart again and we could jam everything out and put it back together, or we could actually paint everything off the car, because what I do, and it kind of works out, because like I said, I've painted cars in this garage before. I cover this whole thing. I plastic the roof, the ceiling, the walls, the front, all the way over to here, and I drop it down, and that right there, that's my air intake. So when I start painting, I turn the heater on, but I don't let those vents blow. Those are on the outside of the tent. So I turn the heater on, and it sucks all the fumes and all the paint overspray and everything. It sucks it into the filters. I go through about 2 filters. I got to throw the filters out when you're done. But it works out really well. But what I could do is, this lift right here, we could put this Mustang on the lift, put it up in the air, and now I have all the room underneath the lift. So what I do is, when I bring the plastic over here, I drop it down and I go underneath the lift. So I could actually paint underneath there also. I could paint the hood underneath there and everything. So, because you know, listen, I'm not a painter. You know, I can do things and they come out okay. But you know, if I could get everything all done in one shot instead of jamming it and then taping it off the tape lines and everything, why not just do everything? I'll just bang it all out. Just as long as I know that everything's dry fitted and everything lines up right, I have no problem with yanking the nose back off the car and painting it off the car. So you know me, I could ramble on forever. What do you say we have some fun with this? Here we go. All right, before we start welding, let's clean this metal up. Just a little bit. All right. Let's see what we can get done today. Hopefully a lot. Hopefully. Let's try this welder. Oh, that's terrible. You have to do a lot of grinding there. Holy cow. All right, guys, let's just stop and show you where we are. Oh, let me turn the welder off. All right, let's take a look. It's not the prettiest, but it'll be all right. It's where we pretty much are. I'm going to grind that down, and then I'm going to hit it with a sealer so there's no problems there. And actually, what we got to do, and I forgot, we still have to slice this all the way across and then weld it back together so we can set this floor pan. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit more. I'm going to hit it with the, you know what? I'm going to seal it. And then what I'm going to do is get it ready to put this floor pan in. Well, we got to do the floor pan. Then we'll actually kind of get ready to put this together. Still a little bit of work left, but we're going to get it done. By hook or by crook, we're going to get this front floor pan done because this was by far the worst part of the car, in my opinion. But we're going to get it, and then we got to do that one, and we got a mess to fix over here. Alrighty, so I just wanted to stop, show you where we are. Here we go. Let's grind this down real quick, hit it with some seam sealer, and then we'll seal it. Let's see how this goes. I'm not going crazy with grinding it down because I'm just hitting it with the seam sealer right on top. And then we'll seal it up. All right. I didn't go all the way down to the end because that's where I got to plug weld it. We'll get it a little bit. We'll do the floor. We'll cut that in, and then we'll set it. But first, let's hit this with some. All right. All right, we'll let that dry. Now what we'll do, I guess we'll do the floor. We'll get the floor ready. Because there's still some trim in here. We got to set the floor in. We got to make some more marks or just plunge through both pieces of metal so I have a nice seam to weld across. We'll see. But while that's drying, we'll do this right here. I think we're going to do this right here. What I want to do is I want to run my cutoff tool all the way around here and then just seam them back together again. Game plan. We'll see what happens. So give me a second. Let me set up the welder. And because I'm going to just, here's another thing too I want to tell you about a welder. If you're looking for a welder, my first welder was a flux core welder. It had a 10-foot gun right here. This is an 8-foot gun. If I had another 2 feet, I'd be able to weld this comfortably, leaving the welder over there. I could still kind of do it, but now I'm like trying to get as much as I can out of the line. So if you get yourself a welder, get it with the 10-foot line, not the 8-foot. The 8-foot works, it does, but the 10-foot, you find that you have a little more room to like get to where you got to get to, and just leave the welder right where it is. All right, so like I say, I'm not the best welder, but I know what's comfortable, and the 10-foot cord, in my opinion, is a lot more comfortable for me. Okay, so enough babbling. Here we go. Let's see what we can do with this. What I'm thinking, if I could slice, you know what? Let's try. There we go. Let me just get rid of this. Ooh, don't touch that. It's hot. That's not that hot. All right, so what is that hot? Oh, we got it. Okay, now I'm just going to bring this together. Ooh, it's still hot. Ooh. Okay, grab my vice grips. Bring this down together. That's what I want, right there. All right, let me throw a tack on this. Ooh, let me turn the welder on. All right, turn the welder on. Let's see if we can get a couple of tacks in here, just to hold it for us. Oop. I guess the ground would work. Give me a minute. Hopefully this ground wire will, hopefully it'll reach. Oh yeah, it reaches. Ugh. All right. Oh yeah, that'll work. So we got a few tacks in there. Let's finish cutting this across without chopping it up too much. That'll work. That will definitely work. Let me grab my bigger clamp. Yeah. I got to weld to one without welding back to the other one. Ground. Okay. Get a couple of tacks in here. Whoop. There's my screw gun here. Okay, let's get this again. All right, this is going to take forever, guys. Here we go. All right, so we got it all welded off right there. I know. The welding police are going to come and arrest me. It's terrible, but it'll look good. You know, I'm really more concerned about the penetration on this and everything. I mean, give me the end of the day. Just give me a chance till the end of the day to see if my welds get better, okay? Let me try to redeem myself. So what I want to do is, I'm going to put it on the ground. We're just going to grind those welds down. So you're really not going to see them. All right. This is going to be loud, so here we go. All right. I think that's it. We'll dry fit it. There it is. We'll see it in the car, but figure let's dry fit it and see how it looks. All right, let's take a look, see what it looks like. This is pretty much what I was trying to do. I'll weld it all the way down across. It's got to get plug welded in there. It's going to get welded across there, across here. I might cut this back and just run a bead down through here. I'm not sure, but this is all going to get seam sealed. And then I think that's it. I think I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do any more today because I went over to Joe's earlier today so we could take the glass out of Lucky. And I was talking with Joe for a little bit, so, and I don't mind it. I don't mind. You know, so I waste a little bit of time there. But I'm going to stop on the floors. And tomorrow, my son, he's going to come over here and give me a hand because he's going away again. And I'm thinking while he's here, he can help hang the doors, maybe put the nose on the car. Anything that he can help me do tomorrow that requires more than one person, which is pretty much everything on hanging the nose and everything. I mean, you can do it by yourself, but it's just so much harder. And while he's here, we could dig these doors out over there and over there. I'm not going to put the glass in the doors. The doors are going to go on hollow. So we'll align everything. And if I can align everything, I don't mind yanking the nose off the car and painting the fenders off the car separately as I'm painting the car. So we'll see what happens. But basically, you know me, squirrel. Tomorrow, game plan. We'll try to hang the body panels on the car. And we'll see how far we can get with it. I have all the panels. My parts guy is going to drop off the inner wheel wells. For here, I had to get these brackets. You know, I don't know if these right here, let me show you where they go. And you got to put them on before you put the fenders on. This is where they go, right here. There's a bolt there and a bolt on the bottom. And these two bolts and the one on the bottom, those are the fender well bolts that you see with the big washers on them. You have to put those on. If not, I mean, you could do it with that. I mean, you can get away with not putting them on, but you really want to put them on because it just stiffens up the whole front end. But that's about it for today. Another thing too. Don't forget to send your cars in for tomorrow night's car show, okay? Tonight's the deadline. So if you could send them in, like I say, just send me 2 pictures to my email, keepitsimplegarage@gmail.com. And after you just send me 2 pictures, your name and what the car is. And if you send that in to me, just in the comments, just say, hey, I'll just check your email. Because like I say, a lot of times I don't check my email. I'm trying to do it more often now. But just in case, you know, I want to make sure that you get your cars in on Friday. You guys have some really, really cool cars. A lot of cool projects. There's one particular car I want you to see that I just think it's kind of like a work of art, I guess. I like it anyway. I think it's pretty neat. So that's pretty much it. Like I say, it's the end of the day. I just wanted to keep it posted on what was going on with patches and give you an update on what was going on with Lucky. And Lucky's looking pretty good. So as probably next week, I'll run over to Joe's. I'll videotape Lucky, see how it's coming out, so you guys kind of have an idea where that car is going. And hopefully by next week we'll be into the bodywork on this car and done with all the welding. Fingers crossed, because there's just so much to weld on this car. But it's okay, you know. I mean, even that's got to come out. I mean, I could sit here for an hour and show you everything that's got to get done, but we're gonna get it. All right. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and you guys take care of yourselves.